Who here has that guy, that director, that producer who is deaf because they've been talking on a headset their entire life on the same ear? Well, there's always one. Did you just throw Chris under the bus? Just remember, Chris, if I were perfect, you couldn't afford me.
Right.
Say that later when he gets on your ass. So side tone gain, you got the guy that's deaf. Normally its default is negative 9.6 dB because you don't want your own voice to be higher than everybody else. Well, the trick is just like when I mixed audio, the guitar player, they always turn up their amp and it gets so loud. Well, the trick was you take their amp and you put it in the monitor and you just jank it up as high as you can. So the guitar player goes, oh, I'm too loud. They turn down their amp. Same idea with side tone. The deaf guy hears himself and they start talking quieter because now they hear themselves and they're a little quieter on the rest of the headsets. Make sense? Yes. So take that from negative 9.6 to 0. And guess what? It's for that specific role. So nobody else has to deal with it. All right, moving on. Menu access. I always disable menu access for the follow spot. Well, for everybody, but especially follow spot. I've had a few of those jackwagons that sit there and really destroy my belt packs. Alarm options, and then you got some logic. The logic is only available if you have an X7 belt pack, meaning 7-pin headset, because it's within those 7 pins that you can do a GPI that does a logic within the system. So I'm not going to dig into that. Routing audio, maybe it's to trigger a different thing within the system. Like if you actually sit there, oh well, it doesn't have any function, but click on logic for me. So if you, for example, have a GPI, click the plus button for cross-point events for GPI. You could say, hey, I want this source to go to this destination. There's a lot of options. And that's where she mentioned Logic Maestro earlier on Eclipse. Logic Maestro is this, but on steroids. It's like huge. You can do almost anything with that logic. This is very limited. We'll probably do a video on this just to rub it in your face. I'm always about the easy. What's that?
I said, switch our system.
Yeah, really. All right, go back to hardware. We're going to add this transceiver now. So add plus there. Oh, sorry. Dude, I'm telling you, my laptop is done. Hey, check it out. That IPT has been discovered. So if I click on it and then bring it over, it immediately starts working on it and connecting it to the system. Then you'll note I ended up doing, actually, can you go do me a favor? Can you click done, go back to host, networking, double check, yep, network. Check AS67, is it set to static or dynamic? All right, good. So it should be coming up here pretty soon. So while it's doing that, go back to resources. So we've got our endpoints for HelixNet. We got physical ports, if you click on that. That's your 2-wire, 4-wire. If you click on the 2-wire port, for example, over here you got your input-output gain. Does it receive call signal? But the other thing also is power. So if you click enabled, that will give me power for my belt pack locally. Again, only 8 to 10 belt packs at a max. So click that. Enabled.
Is that per 2-wire port or per base station?
So A, B are tied together, C and D are tied together. So 8 to 10 on A, B, 8 to 10 on C and D. So now that's powered. There's also an LED that pops up on the back. And if I forgot to pull out an XLR cable, but you get the point. And by the way, that's the button I mentioned earlier. Is it terminated at the Arcadia and nulling? So if I tell the follow spot guy to put on his headset and turn on max volume because I need to do a test, then click it, they're going to hear really, really loud. It is a slow ramp up, so you're not going to kill them.
Yeah, but they're dumb.
That's the thing. You can't kill dumb people, so nope. You're not going to hurt them. They're lighting guys. Go to 4-wire port. Sorry, I'm going to get fired one of these days. So the 4-wire port, again, it's your balanced audio. A really cool function that I highly recommend you keep in the back of your mind is this port function for crossover. So if you go Arcadia to Arcadia or Arcadia to FreeSpeak 2 bass or as an example, the problem is they both have the same pinouts on both sides, which means you're not passing audio. You're sending, the output of one is going to the output of the other. But if you click that 4-wire cross, it'll flip it over. In fact, you can even hear it. So click it, go real quiet. Did you guys hear that? You can literally, there's actually a flip inside of there going, a physical switch, an actuator within there. And then down at the bottom, you got SAN program. So keep in mind, that is port 8 in and out, and that's going to that special cable that I mentioned. All right, scroll down below physical ports. Then you got your IV directs. This is that IP connection I mentioned earlier. So if I wanted to, I could say, hey, I want to set up an IV direct, but it's important to note, what is the signaling? I don't understand completely this. I hopefully by the next training I fully do. But if you just read this, it says if it's enabled, it's a connection for an LQ. If it's disabled, it's a connection to an Eclipse frame. So we're going to do enabled, and just do on the IV direct, just say IVC1. Create.
And this is going through one of the LAN ports?
So that's going through the management LAN 1 port, which is the same one that my LQ is on. Click done. And then if you click IV directs, there's one other step we got to do. So click on that. Because you could do, what did I say, 16 IV directs? Well, if they're all using the same port, how do you tell the difference from IV direct to the next? Well, it's username and password. And over here, there are the credentials. So I'm going to just set up username, do IVC1 all lowercase if you don't mind. And if we have time, I'll show you how to connect that with an LQ. You're going to apply, go back to settings. There's one important note. Within my LQ, I basically will go in and say, hey, set up an IVC connection, and I tell it the IP address, 1050.1.15. I give it the credentials, but on the settings, I have to tell it a port. It automatically picks a port. In this case, it's 6002. Below that then is Dante on the left. So click the plus button. That's all it is. So it's, say just Dante 1 if you want. Create, and then you'll note, as soon as you create that, it takes a port out of the count. Even though you're not streaming, it just took a port out of the whole Arcadia.
Where would I see that?
So,
This is back in config.
yeah, I don't think you're going to see it there. It's, I think it is under hardware. So scroll down further, and then the final thing is licensed ports. There we go, that's where you would see it. So right now, we're only using 4 out of the 64 that this is licensed for. So click that for me. You can actually, kind of a nice feature, you can go in before a show, and you could say, you know what, I know I need 4 IVCs, I need 5 Helix Net channels, I need you can actually click on one of these, and you can, I'm pretty sure, say, yeah, I want this to always be Dante. I always want this to be IVC. So then you know as you add stuff, you've set stuff aside.
Unless it just comes off the truck and like
Yeah, that's when you do factory reset and move on.
So this is your magic number down here.
That's your magic number, licensed ports. All right, so our transceiver is still not coming up. Can you go up to transceivers, click on that guy, and see what's going on? Click network. I got a feeling. Did I?
You want to call customer support? Can we call you?
Solution finder.
Can you go back to the camera? This is why I actually like doing this, because things break and I can show you how to fix it. So when you run into this kind of problem, I think what's happening is the IP address on this is screwed up. These have 2 IP addresses. You have your admin IP and your AS67 IP. But it's one LAN port. I know it sounds weird, but that's the way it works. Sometimes if you don't have, sometimes the DHCP or the IP addresses can be screwed up. And if one or the other is not quite right, it won't connect. So when that happens, over here you see this little button. The green light means it's powered up, and this light is just a status indicator. And if you look on the back of the transceiver, it'll tell you what some of these blinking lights mean. So I'm going to go in, and I'm going to press and hold this button while plugged in, and I'm going to wait for it to start blinking red. I can't tell what color it is there. So I went to red, I let go. That kicks the IPT in the butt and resets it to DHCP. So now if you go back to Arcadia, we'll see what it does. All right, while that's doing that thing, let's go to configuration. And we'll finish up a few things in here. So we already talked about channels. We already talked about roles. Any questions on that stuff? No? All right, so then we got groups. We already kind of covered that a little bit. I'm not going to dig into it because it's not as important, I think. But then the status page is pretty nice, because as you add endpoints, it will continue to fill out these little icons. So this is a very important thing in my opinion. And if you click the wireless tab down on the bottom, left, there, midpoint, I guess. I personally, when I'm running a show, like to have this screen up. I always go back to this, because then it gives me a yellow or red indicator if something fell offline. It tells me if a belt pack is having issues. It gives me the battery status, the button pushes, the volume controls of everything. So when somebody calls you up, hey, I can't hear button A, you can look, yeah, because you got it turned down. Turn it up. Oh, okay, yeah. So now you're not running around fixing something. You just tell them, because this status indicator should show you. Can you go back to, well, what is going on here? Can you go to, in fact, let me jump in there. I'm kind of confused by what's happening. Offline. I wonder if I have a bad cable.
If you reset it, it's gonna. Is it remembering it by the name of the device?
Yes.
IP?
The MDNS name is what it uses, not the IP. You can change the IP all day, every day. It doesn't care.
Got it.
But that's weird. All right. I'm going to kick that to the side for a moment because we're already almost approaching 3. I want to get into Gen IC. So let's talk about that. All right. If you want to have a seat, I'll do the rest here. So I'm going to go into this LQ. IP is .26. Oops, that's the wrong one.
And all that functionality that we can use in a show is going to be online somewhere in a video. We can just look at that on our own.
Generally speaking, yes.
That's how we're going to learn to operate it.
Yeah.
You know.
We're working on it. We're lacking in some videos, but we're getting there.
On a show, and you don't have that information online, then where are you going to get it from?
Call us. Our support's free of charge, dude. It's free of charge.
Can I get your number?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a business card. Just don't call me on a Saturday or Sunday. All right, so I've got this LQ that is upgraded to version 5.0.45. And the new version says register to Skyport. So I'm going to click register. I'm going to sign in with my email. Ooh, I better make sure though. You do not have permission. That's what I thought. Well, wait a minute. Ew, I think I see what I did. So if I do that. There we go. All right, so there's my Skyport that I've got set up for all of global service and support. When I say all of GSS, that means every AE in the US, the United Kingdom, Asia Pacific. We are all tied into one massive thing. So picture this as if Omega had their system going for you. They would then break it up by instance. So in here, I'm not going to IBC over in Amsterdam, but they've set up their own LQs and Gen IC for them to use on the booth. Then I've got my test that I'm doing for in-house sound. Then I got UK. Then here's my instance. And I've got a few LQs already kind of set up with it. I'm not sure if this one is 4WR2 wire 4. This might be the one. 10, 50. I already forgot the IP. 26. So I'm going to click register. Let's hope it goes to the right instance. There it went. So now my LQ just connected to my cloud. I'm then going to go into linking and I'm going to say, hey, I want you to be a GenIC member. And it goes in and it pulls in a full list of what's available. But here's the thing. It says GenIC blah. Well, I'm going to go in here, down to the bottom. My default workspace is where things get dumped. Default workspace is always there. So as soon as you tie an LQ into your GenIC, that's where it gets dumped. So I need to move this into my instance. So I do a long press here. I say, hey, I want you to move up to the Justin MG instance, or workspace, I should say. There it goes. So there it is. So now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to refresh this page because it needs to go talk to it again. I go GenIC link member. It loads the list. There it is. I say, yep, connect there, apply changes. It is now tied to my cloud GenIC. So now I need a volunteer or 2 or 5 or whoever that want to try their own Agent IC connection. I prefer you already have it loaded if possible. I'm going to give that to you. So I'm going to go into, where did my space go? Not that, not that. There it is. So I've already set mine up for the East Coast. Let me copy this. There's that LQ that just literally came into my instance. It's now tied to my cloud. I'm going to open up GenIC. And it shows, in fact, one of these LQs is at home. I've got a crappy little FM station playing into it, I think. I have to double check. But if I go in here, I then say, hey, I'm going to set up some accounts. So I've already got my account. Who wants to try it? I just throw out a name. What? All right, yours is Jerk. Lowercase.
I love it. You left off a jerk. All the standard defaults on the rest.
So by the way, keep in mind, it's the LQ profile, not EHX profile. So also what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste into here the DNS name. So normally when you do this with Agent IC, you're going to that IP address, that external IP that I mentioned earlier. Well, because of security reasons, we randomly create a DNS name before clearcomdevices.net. And there's also a port number. So I'm going to go up. I need to confirm that port number. 6002. So one little trick as I play around with this one, if you go into your camera, you can point the camera at this DNS name, and usually at least on the Android, you can sit there and go into the picture and you can copy and paste those digits. So if you're going to give this a try, let me change the font. I'll make this a little bigger for you. So if you want, take that, copy and paste that, and let me show you. Whoops. So in Station IC, the PC version, this is similar to how it would look in Agent IC. You go in, to LQ profile, you put in your username, your password, the server, which is the one that I just copy and pasted into the notepad here. Does that look the same? Yep, port 6002, And that's it. Do you need to copy and paste that?
Just line us about. I'm gonna hover over your shoulder.
Oh boy,
I
I don't trust you.
No, you shouldn't. I don't trust me.
That sounded creepy.
That's coming across,
Nothing changed. Done.
yeah. Rod PL.
You got it? All right, give me a few more names.
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Joe Nathan.
Joe Nathan. I like that. Anybody else? You playing along?
Yeah, I didn't get the, I couldn't get that copy paste and then take a photo, so it's still behind.
I think I missed it.
Did you do jerk for all lowercase?
Yeah. I think I just missed a digit.
Make sure, and by the way, Vic, I think the VIC is maybe case sensitive, I'm not sure. One trick though, I think we're almost done making this work. You could go out and buy your own DNS name. I mean, I've got one that's, I think it's just agentic.com that we use for NAB when we do the trade show. And you can go in and just say, hey, I want you to forward to this. So you can make it easier. Jerk, all lowercase.
Oh, duh.
And keep them.
How do we get to enter the,
So keep in mind, you on the top on your agent IC, click the profile and go to LQ profile.
one or two?
Either one is fine. Then you go to settings, I think on the top right. And then that's where you put in the DNS name, the port, username, password. Oh, jerks in. Look at that. So I still have to finish one thing though. The LQ is connected to the cloud, jerk is connected to the cloud, but the LQ isn't connected to the Arcadia yet. So I can either do two-wire, back and forth, or I could do that IVC connection I mentioned earlier. Remember that? So I'm going to go into my LQ, to my accounts, and I see IVC here. I'm going to set up a new IVC connection, and I'm going to say, and hell, I'll even label it Arcadia. I give it the IP address of 10.50.1.15, I believe. Yep. And as a reminder, if I go in here, God, why is my eye killing me? And why is that IPT not working? Let's reset that. All right, if I go to my IV Direct here, as a reminder, my credentials is IVC1, port 6002. So I'm going to go in, I need to update my port, 6002.
I do.
Let's see if it connects. Come on. Connecting. Come on, baby.
Oh, got it. There you go. I see. Did not know that.
IVC host is unreachable or invalid username password.
Oh, I have to put,
Well, don't use the jerk. That's already used. Do you need a new one?
you might need one, yeah.
All right, give me a name.
Martin.
I'm sorry?
Martin.
Martin.
Oh,
password is the same?
So yeah, all lowercase. Same thing for you, Ariel.
Okay,
Ariel.
I'm gonna get this eventually. I'm in.
You're in? Oh, look, and I got the green dot for Ariel.
Martin and Martin.
Martin and a Martin.
Lowercase, you said?
All lowercase. Or as the French Canadians say, Martin. And I'm in now.
Log in there.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Anybody hear me? Talk on it.
Good check.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you know what?
Production, don't need, isn't this one about?
Check that out. We're going round trip from here to North Carolina and back, and it's barely any latency.
Is that your radio station playing?
Oh, yeah. There we go. It's a bad cable coming from my radio. Actually, I think it's the radio.
I hear you. I hear you.
So the vendor has an account for me that has Station IC, or Cloud IC,
Gen IC.
Gen IC, and then I have to log into that.
Yep.
And then I have to activate the Arcadia.
So the LQ is the current gateway for your local physical connection.
So IP to the LQ from the Arcadia.
You could do IP, 2-wire, 4-wire from the LQ. Whatever you prefer. So in this case, let's pretend it's a FreeSpeak 2 base. You could use Gen IC with FreeSpeak 2 base. You can use it with an Encore system that has no IP connection whatsoever. You could take LQ, 2-wire to an Encore and get it to the cloud. No problem.
Let me ask you this, what would be the function of that? Like, at an event, if some comm goes down, they can call in on their phone, or what?
No, actually think about it.
Or, other than just like somebody calling in from outside the show, and they're like wanting to say something.
It could be something external. It could be maybe you've got visitors. You've got people that just need to be able to do basic listening or communication on their own channels, but they don't need $2,000 bell packs. So think big picture. You could even expand your rental capabilities by getting the showrunner, whoever's doing the show, give them the
Like I'm running late with the talent or something.
whatever you want. Yeah.
Call into that. If you gave them the number in advance and say, hey, I'm running late with the talent. Second band won't be here till whatever.
Exactly.
Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's
Oh, here we go. I got an next alert.
directly to the producer, maybe.
It's a great replacement for radios if you're out of radio range and you can't get a receiver up.
Yeah.
Cell coverage is left everywhere.
Right.
So if you've got people who are shuttling talent,
Yeah.
It could be the ushers. It could be the people that manage the event. Maybe they have nothing to do with the band, but just,
It just replaces radios. That
yeah. And by the way, they could use their station IC.
it's more than single channel. So like we use Agent IC whenever we want an executive producer to hear show program, if we gotta have a separate meeting. So they can sit there and listen to show program and chime in, but you don't want them on the radio because it's only the single channel.
Right. So it goes the reverse way, so they can hear what you're
Dots
saying
on the bottom.
on your comms.
You can give them comms or not.
Yours, maybe it's a completely different channel.
Right.
Down.
And you could, on their station IC or agent IC, reduce it just to one channel that gets to you, but they don't hear the rest of the stuff.
And you can limit their talk level.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying, can they hear what's happening on comms?
It's up to you.
Oh, it's up to you. Right. Okay. So
It's all configurable.
you just configure it. Okay.
Sends the mic. Or that turns on.
So I don't know if this is a big deal now, but during COVID, when you had like remote traffics and remote directors, and they're just sitting at home,
Yeah.
is it more common to ship them an LQ, or is it more common to like just have them log in with
Either use their iPad or their PC or Mac.
So it's easier to just let them use their device.
100%. Which is their preference anyway. Yeah, Chris?
What logging level is available on this? So if we have a full test team, we have someone at home and they hot mic in or they say something they shouldn't on a particular loop, is there a way to backtrack who was talking at that time? I doubt it.
That's a little more difficult at the moment because it's on the LQ type infrastructure. Now, you could figure out who's logged in
And,
So in fact, if I go to this and accounts, it shows me a green dot. And then I say, "Ugh, God bless it, she's turned on her mic. Guess what? I'm just going to change her password, and now she's kicked out.
Okay, real time advice.
And then I go in and go, all right, I'm going to put it back in. So now, is your phone kicked out?
Yes.
All right, well now try hitting play again because I put your password back.
Okay, back on. That's
Green
good.
light's not there.
It takes a second sometimes.
Okay.
Now, I assume at some point we'll have more of those controls in there, but right now that doesn't exist.
How many channels can you do on here?
Oh, great question. So if I go in here and add a subscription, please note these prices are not true, so don't sit here and assume anything. But right now, if I do a premium version of this, which does the LQ connection, I can currently do up to 64, and it's going to continue to go up from there. We just started a little bit lower at the moment. All right, so the last thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, I decided just to say screw it, and I'm doing 2-wire from the LQ down in my Arcadia. Something messed up with that IPT and the IVC. It could be my Arcadia, I'm not sure. Either way, let's take 2-wire port A. I'm going to add it to my program channel, or production channel, I should say. I'm going to put, let's see, 2-wire port A. I then need to go to my Arcadia, and under my configuration, channels, in fact, I'm going to relabel this as production. So if I could get somebody to come up and help me out real quick. Volunteer, do I have another Vanna White? This guy. Can you take a headset, go to that HelixNet belt pack that I've got configured over there? I just want to make sure it works. So back to the CCM, keep in mind, as things come online and connect to a channel, it automatically just shows who's in there. And right now it shows that my HelixNet belt pack is listening on production right now. In fact, do you see that on channel?
You got an adapter,
Oh,
Or a
God bless it.
different
Are you kidding me?
or should we configure this one real quick?
Yeah, do that one. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
This was shipped to me, and these things get so screwed up. So as a reminder, to connect a physical port, an IVC port, to a channel, you have to physically connect it. Otherwise, it doesn't know it needs to be a part of that workflow. So I'm going to go to the production channel here, which you see on the left, and I'm going to add 2-wire port A. So now, if we think about this, I'm not going to do that. You've got Arcadia, XLR 2-wire going to the LQ. LQ is phoning home to the cloud. Cloud is going to your belt packs. And I've got that HelixNet going into the Arcadia. Do you have production on that channel A? All right. So in theory, if you talk, there we go. You should hear him.
Yep, I gotcha.
So do a 5 count and we can see what the delay is.
1,
Face up so we
2,
can see what you're doing.
3, 4, 5.
So it's not horrible.
No, that's not bad at all.
Round trip. And by the way, keep in mind, this is also 4G. We're not going through Omega's data connection. It would probably go faster if it was on their connection too.
You're going through that.
We're going through the cradle point
So it's going through the router up and then back.
to North Carolina
Yeah, and then coming back to here.
to those phones.
That's fine. So it's basically just sending the net,
Yep,
or the whatever.
yep. To our hosted system in the Google infrastructure.
Now, does that involve anything like AT&T or anything, or is it?
Nope.
separate?
It's just internet.
It's just internet. So like in a hotel, it's just if you have an internet connection, that's all you need.
That's all you need.
Hardwired.
That's it.
Okay. You don't need to set up any extra things or anything.
Nothing. Which is also nice because try getting IT in the hotel to do anything for you.
Correct. Now, would that be is that on a specific channel? So like, if say the ballroom headset wants to talk to the phone person in wherever, they're on channel B or what? How does that work?
It's however you configure it.
Configure it to be on any channel.
Yeah, it's all
So you don't
configurable.
have to So you can just sit there and they can be talking to them independently from the room.
Yep.
Okay. And then back and forth.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's
At that
pretty
point,
good.
it's just a matrix.
Yeah.
Channels, ports.
Yep.
That's not bad.
So if I look at this drawing, that's what we just accomplished. Minus the FreeSpeak 2 because I think my IPT crapped the nest.
That'll be on the slide deck.
Yes, that'll be on the slide deck.
So the HelixNet packs do not have an IP address?
They do.
They do?
Yes.
And they're getting that,
Well, from the DHCP server or if you statically set it.
okay.
And since you like to statically set stuff,
That sounds like a big pain in the ass.
that is a big pain in the ass. That's why I like DHCP so much. Do you have nothing but Luminex? Is that why?
No, my Arcadia rack has a Netgear in it.
Oh.
And we had been doing DHCP on our AES 67, but without the server, and it was working, but when the transceivers would go offline, it takes forever, like what you're experiencing right now, it takes forever to get them back online.
Yep.
When it would come online, they would work, but we had that little yellow triangle saying link local is bad. So then I started messing around. Well, maybe I could get static IPs for the AES 67, and I got that going. But then I got real confused that the IP transceiver had 2 IP addresses. Once I got it all sorted with static IPs on everything, I'm good to go. It's one switch that's doing the management, the AES 67, and Dante. We haven't tried any Dante on it yet. But
Okay.
it's all VLANed out. We don't use it. We use FreeSpeak to base a bunch in ballrooms, but we got the Arcadia to go do some stadium gigs. So.
Okay.
So what's the typical boot time for an IPT?
Well, it should be, if it's already configured with the Arcadia, usually it's within, several minutes, 3-4 minutes sometimes. The way to reduce that, there are tricks to reduce that time. The first one is actually to do static IPs, because when a transceiver boots up, it's going out and looking for a DHCP server. Well, if you said it's a static, that's one less thing for the computer inside that thing to do. The second trick is, let's say the Arcadia fails and comes back up because of power failure. Well, that means the clock went away. So another trick is you have a external clock. So then all the IPTs are still clocked. And they're not having to resync. All they need to do is reestablish AES67 with the base station. Whereas if you don't have an external clock, the Arcadia boots up, then it starts up the clock, the PTP clock, and then it starts communicating with the transceivers on clocking.
And that's not going to use the Dante clock.
No, because that's a different PTP clock. That's PTP version 1.
What's the typical boot up time for the Arcadia?
I want to say 2 minutes or less. It is up and running, maybe 3. It's not that horrible, considering how powerful it is. I'm surprised it's not longer. Any other questions? Yep.
Is it fair to think of the LQ as an Arbonne card in a box?
Actually, so that's a good comparison, but it's definitely more powerful than that because Arbonne is not the best when it comes to internet connection. It can't be routed very well. Whereas this can go routed a million times. It doesn't care. But that's a good comparison.
Okay.
So the Arcadia can't go to Gen IC directly
Not yet.
yet.
Coming though. It is coming.
Any time frame?
That one actually I don't have a time frame on. Because I mean, Gen IC literally, we dropped that out on the market about less than 30 days ago. So engineering is still looking at this first revision that they released and fixing bugs as customers have found them.
But it's on the roadmap.
It's definitely on the roadmap. Oh yeah. Just like the Arcadia, Gen IC has a long roadmap.
So are the key panels all IP2, so they would just go into switch, or how do we?
Yep.
Okay.
So the key panels have 3 options. You can either do 4-wire analog directly to it, IVC, or AES67. IVC is great because that means you can take a panel out into the field just like you would with an LQ and have it phone home. So think of remote productions. You have a TV truck, you could actually have a panel and do IFBs and everything from a panel over the internet back to your mainframe.
And then 867 is the standard Cat5.
Yep, and it uses the same LAN port. And we're also even integrating into it the ability to do backup. Because in our Eclipse frame, we even have N+1, N+N, and the IPA card can look at different switches and switch to the back. I see Chris going, what? The NBL has backups to the backups, so more money for us, huh? So,
I think we're getting ready to.
yeah, so N+N, N+1, that's if an IPA card goes away. It fails over to the backup, N+1, and all these other things. If this switch goes away, it backups to this switch, or a combination of things. So I mentioned Rockefeller Center as an example. We're doing N+1, N+N. We're doing all that because you have to have this stuff working. It has to work. Any other questions?
And you have SFP to RJ45 already?
The adapter?
Yeah.
Yes. That's a part number, yes.
Is that
You can-
proprietary, or-
No, we don't make them. So we do have on our website and on the Solution Finder a list of SFPs with the actual part number in case you just want to buy it yourself. You don't have to buy it from us.
The group concept where it's forced listen,
Yep.
does it kill everything else in that channel? Like a true ISO? Or is it mixing in with?
Well, it's mixing in with everything else. So if you have a party line that's still talking, it'll mix in with that.
They'll just show up in your ear.
Yeah. Anything else? Well, I'm about the end of my line and need a bourbon, so if you've got nothing else, go talk to that guy.
All right,
So that guy over there.
depends on
Add a couple
ports.
zeros.
Oh, it does. That's right. It's the smaller port one.
So we were talking earlier about this
Arcadia
is the
starts
E1.
at 24K.
If we put in a PoE injector
Won't help.
for the, but it'll work for the IPT.
Yes. Here's the problem. We have seen problems with the injectors stripping PTP. Not all of them are passed through correctly. I'd be careful putting in injectors. But if you're putting in an injector, that means power locally.
Well, midpoint.
Okay, maybe midpoint it could work. So we have seen sometimes some switches and some pass-through devices like that, for some reason they don't pass the PTP. I don't have a list of which ones have created that, but
You know anybody who's using it that has this stuff? So you can-
no. Because most of the time I just say, hey, just power it locally, and that's what they do, and they move on. So unfortunately,
I'll text right now and ask which one it was.
Yeah, because
Because I had one good luck with it, and then
yeah, because I wouldn't want to power it locally for where the transceiver is going to be, because I want it to be on UPS, so I can hit a midpoint telco room with UPS in it and put the injector there.
got it.
Would passive PoE power? If passive PoE will let your PTP too, correct?
Potentially. Logically it should, but I'm not going to say yes or no.
Trying it.
I haven't tried it myself, so I don't know.
224 volt transformers and wired.
Anybody come up with wireless electric yet? That'd be nice.
Yeah, Tesla.
right?
Yeah, besides that,
I believe Tesla did that.
yeah.
Not the company, but the man.
Sounds like a shocking experience.
Yeah, it's kind of like that active denial system, right?
Exactly.
The pricing for 16-port Arcadia is $12,995. 32-port is $16,450. 48-port is $23,045.
I got a mortgage. Don't say wow.
It's not my money.
Exactly.
Company is mine. Client's money.
Yeah.
If you order it after the fact, it's about 30% more for the license. And if you order the ports in the model that you buy, like 48 ports.
So field upgrade has an upcharge of 30%.
It's about 30% more than
Yeah.
you buy it with, the amount of licenses and ports that you want with the Arcadia.
Yeah, it is cheaper long term if you buy it right out of the box. Anything else? Are we bored yet? Are we done? We tired?
Not bored, but tired.
Yeah, I'm done. My voice is about to go.
To beat traffic all the way back to
Dude,
South
that's
Boston.
why I was aiming for 3.
Thank you.
325. Guys, thank you. Please fill out the form. Good to meet you. Hey, good to meet you. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you. It's good to meet you.